Hi! Once again, I need to adjust this angle. I think it's too far leaning forward, so let's do that. Straighten it up a little bit. And then I'm going to drop it down a little bit. Don't know how that looks. Hello, everyone. How are we all doing? Thought I'd do a little live, not going to go on too long, just sniff some vintage stuff with you all. Hey John, hey Kev, nice to see you. And it's Lisa, isn't it, Craftomatic? I think it's Lisa. Hi Lisa. And Peter's here, nice to see you, Peter. Yes, I've got some old, well I think they're quite old, Dior perfumes. Lara, nice to see you. Need a break in the US. Well, good to see you. Hope you get a break. Alice is here. Yes, she says I'm here for it. And yes, it is Lisa. Craftomatic is Lisa, if anyone wants to know. Right. So let's start with the usual stuff. What are you wearing? What's your fragrance of the night? Hey Scott. I am wearing, what am I wearing? 3 different things at least, as per usual. So over here I have the remnants of some Miss Dior, I think it was the EDT. So I've got a current formulation, Miss Dior EDT, and I've got that there, but that's kind of like just a bit, it's just like a sharp, musky, slightly citrus smell now. Over here, Bukhara off of Gallivant, loving that. I'm wearing that a lot at the moment. Really love it once it's dried down a little bit. I love it all the way through, but in the dry down it gets particularly addictive, really addictive. So Bukhara, I've just put that in a list video which I will upload tomorrow, a signature scents video, so that's going up tomorrow. But Bukhara is loving it. Katrine's here. Hello Katrine. Lara is wearing What We Do in Paris is Secret. That's a very nice gourmand fragrance. Alice is wearing a new one, Amochi Atelier by Zara. I saw Arlene's review of that. Arlene Delicious Delights really enjoys that one at the moment, so I'm curious about that one. How are you finding it, Alice? And John, oversprayed Killian Forbidden Games, and it's been killing me most of the day. I'm sure you're enjoying being killed by Killian though, John. Scott is wearing Liquids Imaginaires Dom Rosa, Oman Luxury Oud, Aqualaria as well. I saw you chatting about Dom Rosa with Lizzie earlier. I was a silent observer of a group chat conversation. Tara's here. Hi Tara. And Katrine's wearing Lune Feline. Beautiful. Love that one. So if you haven't shared already what you're wearing, do so now. Let me know if you've got a snack on the go or a drink. I've got Diet Coke. No alcohol for me tonight, being good. Bit tired today. I think this weather's bringing me down. You can hear the rain on the roof. It's getting so dark so early. I think that seasonal change, it's getting colder and darker, days are getting shorter. I think that does, I wouldn't say it's making me depressed, but it's making me a little bit tired and a little bit lethargic. I feel like, you know, a bit like I can't be asked to do the things I need to do. Like I'd rather just wrap up in a blanket and read a book or watch some shit on TV. So Kev is wearing Alexandria's Purple Haze. Peter's wearing Cuir de Russie from Chanel, very classic leather scent. And Tara's just got home and she was wearing Ramon Monigau's Flamenco. JC Russell says, hi there, how are you doing today, my friend? Hey JC, all good, thank you. Lisa's wearing Oreza Legrand's Rêve d'Océan. Alice says, Amochi In Atelier in Tonio is the full name for the Zara fragrance. It's very good. It's creamy, milky, rice water, pear, sandalwood scent. It does sound really nice actually. I'm going to try and check that one out. It's very inexpensive, isn't it, as well? Nisky Pisky's here. Vintage Bal à Versailles today. Wow. Oh, listen to the rain. Beautiful day here in DC, she says. You can hear what it's like here. Wow, it's coming down. I hope you can hear me. Wow, is it raining in the UK? Hi Karine. Yes. I mean, the roof here is plastic, so it makes it sound a lot worse than it is. Nisky Pisky says, sounds beautiful, I love that sound. Annie says we could use some rain here in California. Corinne says, shit, it means it's coming to the north of France sooner or later. Yeah. And Kev says it's been lashing it down there all day too. Yes, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to sort of shout a little bit. I forgot to plug my mic in. Let me know if I should plug my mic in. Lisa says, I wish it was raining here in Midwestern US, we need it. And John says it's been drizzling here all day. Yeah. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. Right then. So, just show you what I've got here. Let me know if you've got a snack or a drink on the go. So I showed you all of this in my birthday haul live stream, and I think what we have here is some older Dior's, because if you look at this Pure Poison, it's got the white lid, so that means it's an earlier formulation. So also I'm sort of quickly looking at everything. There's no website or anything, so I think these are fairly old. I don't know how old. We've got here Dior Addict 2, Dune Eau de Toilette, Pure Poison Eau de Parfum, J'adore Eau de Parfum, and then Dior Addict Eau Fraiche. Nisky Pisky's shelling and eating unsalted peanuts. Tony's here. I have some orange and gin marshmallows. Wow. Wow. John says, nice green tea and these disgusting blueberry things from Home Bargains, but I bought them, so I'm going to damn well eat them. Okay, fair enough. Elaine's here. Hi, Elaine. Kev's got a cup of tea up early in the morning. And Lisa's just finished some dark chocolate chips. Lovely. Very nice. So, I was debating before about not opening these and keeping them. And several of you said, you only live once. And then I thought, well, what's the point in me, bloody hell, what is the point in just keeping them? Oh, my throat's drying out. The thing is, I'm having to shout, so now my throat's suffering. But maybe I'll plug this mic in. I'm going to try and plug this mic in. Let me know if the sound is better or worse. Right. Okay. The mic is on. How does it sound? Let me know. Better or worse? And Nisky Pisky, it's just a Diet Coke. I'm having a night off the alcohol for a change. Tony says better sound. Nisky Pisky says better. Annie says better. Brilliant. Okay. Sorry, should have done that to start with. Right. Tony's got a cup of tea. And Annie just finished lunch, butternut squash and yoghurt. Lisa says sound is fine. Q Georgie, it sounds like it's proper pouring there where you are. Yes, just a little bit. No need to shout now. Sorry. Sorry. Sorry, I probably don't need to go to my microphone like that either. Okay, right, I'll stop shouting. John says, I think you need to build an ark tonight by the sounds of it. Yes. Yeah, so as I was saying, I was thinking of just keeping these, but then I was like, well, what's the point in that? And I'm not a collector, really. I'm someone who likes to experience my perfumes. So I thought it would be so much better to open them with you lot and kind of share them in a way. So we're going to do that. Elaine says, it's pouring here too, but nice and cozy indoors. Yeah, it's always good when it's raining. It's good if you're indoors. So let's get this open. David's here, says oi oi, oi oi David. And Tara says, so glad you're opening them. Yeah, I mean, what's the point in hoarding them? If I was sort of planning to resell them years down the line for a bit of profit, maybe, but that's not really the point of it for me. So just unsheath them. And they're out of the wrapper. And David said, mustard jumper and pouring rain. Autumn is here. Yes, isn't it just? So the only thing with these is they're going to be dabbers. And I don't have a lot of skin. So I'm not quite sure how we're going to do this. But we're just going to start. So we'll start with the Dior Addict 2. Isn't that nice with that multicoloured holographic 2 on there? And so it's red inside the box. That's what it looks like. There is the bottle. John says you have 10 fingertips. So is that because I'm doing that? Or something else? Right, so Dior Addict 2. I can't go there. I've already got a perfume there as well, actually. I've got Belle Helen from MDCI, which is a pear fragrance. Which is a quite nice, spicy, woodsy pear fragrance. So let's... How does this... I'm not entirely sure how this... Oh, here we go. Right. Lid's off. And I'm going to pour it here, because that's clean there. So we've got a little bit there. Just lost a little bit of the silver. The little bit of the silver's just flaked off. I can see it falling. Oh, fingertips for testing. I could test them on my fingertips. I get you. Yeah, but they might smell of something already. Perfume, obviously. Just don't pick your nose later. Tony says the jumper's the same colour as my biscuit wrapper. Just a useless observation. Well, it's nice to know that you're... What sort of biscuit is that then? Right then, so we have this Dior Addict 2. Doesn't have the 2. Doesn't actually have the 2 on here. So if you just came across that, you wouldn't know that was Dior Addict 2. Just pointing that out. So I've got the notes listed on Fragrantica. I think, yep. So let's have a little sniff. So it's a kind of fruity, musky scent. We've got quite a few notes actually. We've got grapefruit, bergamot, mandarin and freesia. Pineapple, pomegranate, lotus, watermelon, lily of the valley. There's a lot of notes here. And there's some white musk, cedar and sandalwood as well. Yeah, it's a fresh, fruity, pink, girly. It does smell a little bit dated, if I'm honest with you. I don't know that I would specifically pick out any of these particular notes. You can tell there's a clean white floral in here. So that's, I'm guessing, the lily. The jasmine is not particularly heavy. It smells quite clean, but it's a pink fruity. like I would have guessed sort of red berries and lychee and stuff like that, but it's pomegranate, pineapple and watermelon. And I guess it does have a little bit of a watery aspect, which I think you would get from the watermelon and the lotus. So I guess it's supposed to be quite fresh, but not in an aquatic way. Very pleasant, not the sort of thing I would necessarily wear, but very pleasant. John says, "Oh Claire, we missed you." That might be in relation to something I said earlier. Tony says, "McVitie's classic caramel digestives, the VIBs. Sounds nice. It sounds very nice." Scott's been eating them too. Nisky Pisky, I'm dying to get some vintage Addict. Can't find any affordable though. Yeah, so it's definitely got this clean, watery, it's got a watery feel and a clean, musky feel. And then pink fruits. But nothing's very loud, nothing's bombastic. It's very clean, very clean and fresh. Sort of thing a professional person would wear in a white crisp shirt. So that's Dior Addict 2. I'm just going to move on to the next one. And let's see, well, we've got June. We're going to do June next. June. It's the Eau de Toilette. Nice sort of, what do you call that, ombre effect. Just lighter at the bottom and it goes a little darker to the top. And it's almost a little kind of sparkly. Not exactly sparkly, but there's a dappled effect that I don't know if you can pick up. Anywho, here we have a miniature Dune. Very cute. I like that lid. It looks like a clear precious stone. It's plastic, of course, but it looks like a nice precious stone. And you just pull that stopper out. So that's different. And we'll go higher up the arm for this one. I don't think we're going to get enough on the stopper to really do much. So we're going to pour that on as well. Go there. Oh, good old splash. We like a splash, don't we? Probably not. A lot of us don't like splashes. Depends, I guess, what we're talking about. Okay. Q Georgia says June is beautiful. And I don't think I've got the proper chat up. Right, now we've got live chat. There we go. Francis is here. Hey Francis, nice to see you. So we've got vintage June now exactly there on my skin. I'm going to get you the notes. This is a very spicy perfume. Oh, and it's a bit animalic as well. This has got a ton of notes in it, by the way. Aldehydes, rosewood, bergamot, mandarin, peony. Stay with me now. There's something called wallflower, rose, ylang, jasmine, lily, benzoin, musk, patchouli, amber, sandalwood, oak moss and vanilla. So a ton of notes. I can smell, I think it's civet. It's got this slightly dirty civet. But it also reminds me of Calvin Klein's Obsession. It's got that heavy, rich spiciness about it. But it's quite dirty at the moment. And that's, I mean, there's no animalic note listed here. But it does have a slightly civet-like feel. It might change. That might go. But for me, this is about spices, and then probably the amber and the patchouli, and yeah, like a dirtiness. Not really. Many of the notes, I don't really get aldehydes. Any of the citruses are so blended in that they're just lending it a freshness. I don't really specifically pick out any citrus. I can kind of get like an amber vanilla-y thing underneath it. I feel like that dirtiness is already creeping away, so that's good. Not something I would wear. It does have a bit of an old-fashioned feel about it. Now there is a cleanness in here actually. Whether that's the aldehydes or the florals, because white florals can smell very clean, particularly lily. What have we got here? Jasmine, lily, rose, peony, ylang ylang, something called wallflower. Yeah, it's getting nicer, and I can smell the sandalwood actually. So sandalwood is listed as a base note, but it's coming through now quite strong, a little bit like the sandalwood in Egoiste from Chanel or Sancerre. It's quite a prominent note. Not particularly creamy, more spicy and more woody, like, if that makes sense. Not a gourmandy smooth sandalwood, but a little bit more textured, a little bit harder to devour. Not like a smooth, creamy, delicious one. Much more spicy. Okay, let's have a quick check on your comments. Okay, right. So Karine says, I believe it's quite polarising. Had lots of love and hate reactions. And Scott says, crikey, that's the full gambit. Elaine, I recall I didn't like Dune. I tried it a few times. Karine, white florals can smell a bit animalic. And Annie says, I mostly get lily. Sandalwood is quite dusty too. Yeah, I can see that. Quite dusty. Like powdery, dusty, sandalwood, spicy. A little bit ambery, a little bit vanilla-y. Yeah, it's getting better. It's getting much better actually. Right, so should we try another one? So I'm not going to hang around too long because I'm tired. I feel like curling up in bed with a book. So we've got Pure Poison here. Eau de Parfum. And, oh, that wasn't in there. Up the right way, that wasn't. And so yes, I understand that the white lid is the vintage, or at least an earlier vintage formulation. This one's not full. Look how lovely the multicolours of the glass are, like Aurora Borealis, multicoloured, absolutely stunning. I love that. So this is Pure Poison, and hey, Peter's here. Hi Peter. He said pip pip. And he says such a pretty bottle. Elaine says beautiful bottle. Yes, it looks like this one might have had a little leakage because it's not full, but maybe it comes like that. So we're going to go on the back of this hand, because this is, I don't know if that's clean or not. I think it's clean. If not, I mean, come on. It's not a full-on review. I'm just going to give you some impressions. So we've got a nice little bit of a nice spillage there on my hand. I'll let that one settle, and I've got some notes ready. Let's have a look. See. So Pure Poison Eau de Parfum. We've got jasmine, bergamot, mandarin, and orange. So you've got two types of orange here, and we've got gardenia and orange blossom, and white musk, amber, cedar, sandalwood again. So we've got, it's a floral citrus with an ambery woodsy base. And I've smelt the current formulation, and I find it squeaky clean, like clinically sterile clean, because of the white florals are so sharp, not in a jarring way, but they're just so pure and clean that, to me, a lot of people say it's a great bridal fragrance, it's a perfect bridal fragrance. I would say it would be for the bride who doesn't want to consummate the marriage. You know what I mean? It's a cold fragrance. But that was my impressions of the current formulation. And this, I believe, is a different variant. I don't know if it's the original formulation, but it's an older version. And Tony says, I bet this will be the nicest one. Lisa says, time to go make dinner, prepare to go to bed. I'm pleased I could get in on your live stream today, Claire. It was good to see you, Lisa. Thanks for dropping in. Robert's here, says, hello everybody, missed me. Hi Robert. And Peter says, you can really hear the rain. Yes. It's pissing it down here too, says Peter. Yeah, I mean, it's annoying. It's worse because this roof is plastic, so it does make it seem a lot worse than it actually is. Yeah, I'd say from memory, this is a bit warmer than the formulation I tried, the current formulation. It's a little warmer, it's a little muskier, a little fuzzier. It's still definitely a white floral, and it's not a particularly sweet white floral. It's not a particularly exotic white floral. Joss is here. She says, hi friends. Hey Joss. But it is a warm white floral. It's clean, but it's not sweetened in any way. So even though we have notes of, I think we've got some amber. We've got amber, which you would think would sweeten it up. At the moment, I mean, it is a base note, of course, but usually you'd get something from it. At the moment, I don't really get that. I can pick up on the oranginess. So we've got mandarin and orange in here. I can pick up a little bit on that oranginess, but it's not, I would never have said this is a citrus top, just that there's a bit in there. There's a little bit of this citrus blending with the white florals. The white florals are the main players here. And they're clean, almost like laundry musk. Laundry clean with a little bit of laundry musk. And let's have a quick check on your comments. Different screen. Here we go. Everyone's saying hi to Joss. What are we sniffing, says Robert. This is the Pure Poison Eau de Parfum from a vintage mini, and this one is an older formulation because it's got the white lid. Current bottles have purple lids. So yeah, it's clean. To me, it's like white sheets flapping in the wind. Clean white sheets. Almost a hint of a narcissus type thing, so almost like a slightly green floral, like a narcissus note, but that's not listed. But it just seems that there's more to it than pure white florals and citrus at the moment. And Tim is here. Tim Wilcox says, sounds like heavy rain that left Manchester a few hours ago is now on your conservatory roof. Yeah, it seems that way. You can have it back, Tim, if you don't mind. John says, Tim, there ain't no rain like Manchester rain. The roof would have dissolved by now. Yeah, so I wouldn't call it sharp, but it is it tart? Is it sharp? It's just a bit, do you know what I mean? It's a little bit squeaky clean, but it has got a soft muskiness, but there's no sweetness. It doesn't have what I like in a white floral fragrance. That's what I'm trying to say. I usually like a little bit more sweetness or something else that makes it a bit more interesting to me. Maybe when the amber comes through, I'll like it more. Right now it's just a very clean, non-sweet, squeaky clean white floral. Jimbo's here. Hi Jimbo. He says greetings all. And should we go for another one then? Let's go for J'adore. So this is the pillar fragrance in the J'adore line. J'adore, it's the Eau de Parfum. I don't know how much this has been reformulated, and as I said earlier, I don't know how old these exactly are. I don't think they're mega old, but this is J'adore. Here we have a cute little mini, and we're going to go up the arm a little bit. I'm going to have to go a bit higher. So this one, try not to break it. There we go. Right, that's how it comes off. We go up here. Can you see the wet patch? Not sure you can see the shine, but it's here. So J'adore. Christy's here. She says hello. Elaine says, I really like these minis, great ways to sample. Yeah, there they are, aren't they? And they're cute because they're really nice to display, the minis. Right, so J'adore, I can smell that actually jumping up from my arm, and it's pretty. So let's have a little look-see and see what it says. I think this is probably my favourite so far, and I've not even got my nose close to it yet. So this is actually by Calice Becker. It was created in 1999, and we have notes of, oh, it's got a pear in it. Bergamot, pear, peach, melon, magnolia, orange, it's mandarin orange. We've also got freesia, orchid, violet, plum, tuberose. There's more. Rose, lily, jasmine. There's more. We've got blackberry, cedar, vanilla, and white musk. Yeah, this is, I guess you'd say this is a little bit, it's a bit more character to it than, let's say, probably more character than the Pure Poison, at least. You can smell that there are different fruits at play here, so you can tell it's peachy, but it's not too heavy on the peach. It's more like a nectarine actually than a peach. A peach can be a bit sickly to my nose. I just don't get on with peach that well. But it's quite a natural, it's almost like if someone gave you a little punnet of nectarines that were quite ripe, not going off, not too ripe, but they're ripe that they're giving off some scent, and that it's nectarine rather than peach. It's clean and musky. Again, there seems to be a theme here. I'm not picking up on a lot of the more unusual notes like plum. It doesn't smell rosy, I don't think. It does actually, no, it does a little bit. I think it's one of those things where there's so many notes and they're all blending together, so you just have this pretty floral accord that if I was asked to pick it apart and try and figure out what florals are in here, I would be guessing quite a lot. It smells pink, like a mixture of pink and white florals really. Nothing too heady or screechy. So I think that nectarine-like note is almost got the slightly fuzzy skin of the nectarine. So it's like blending it all together, smoothing it all out. Yeah, it's got a very natural feel to it. If I was going to choose I was saying the Pure Poison gets sort of labelled as the perfect bridal scent, which I disagree with. I would say this is much more of a bridal scent. It's much more approachable. It's warmer. It's very feminine. It's got an innocent feel, but it's not a cold and frigid like the Pure Poison. This bride is gonna put out. I'm not really picking up on the violet or the vanilla, maybe the blackberry. I think there's a tiny bit of tartness which might be coming from the blackberry. I really quite like this, and I didn't really think I liked J'adore that much. I mean, I quite like it, but it's quite pretty, quite soft and lovely. Let's have a quick check on your comments. Annie says, I didn't like J'adore when it first came out, but then it grew on me. And Corinne says she's bought the last J'adore flanker, really like it. Is that the Infinissimi? Infinissimi. You know what I'm trying to say. That's the new one, isn't it? Katrin, got to go to bed. Good night all. Night, Katrin. Thanks for joining us. And Francis says, this is my sister's signature fragrance, but I don't like it much. Oh dear. Do you like your sister though? Sometimes you can not like a fragrance because of a person, or vice versa. And Infinissimi. That's hard to say, isn't it? Nisky Pisky. Never thought I'd like J'adore because I don't like Charlize much. Oh, is that the face of it? Is it Charlize Theron? Is that the face of the fragrance? Yeah, I mean, it is peachy, which means I probably wouldn't choose to wear it, but it's pretty and it's warm and it's inviting and it's really nice. Actually, it reminds me a little bit of, I just reviewed Velvet Peach from Fragranza, and it's reminding me of that, but that was kind of sharper and soapier, cleaner, squeakier, and this is a warmer, fuzzier, peachy type fragrance. Very nice. Jimbo says, I finally received all of the frags I bought on Claire's birthday. Oh wow, how many have you got now then, Jimbo? How many arrived? Any sort of standouts at the moment? 6. Oh. Right. We're going to go for the final one then. This is Dior Addict Eau Fraiche. Dior Addict Eau Fraiche, and we've got this sort of disco like multicoloured holographic box. And there's the bottle. And I need to find some skin, so I'm going to go right up here now, just to be sure that I don't mix it with anything else. Here we go. Nice big wet patch right there on my elbow. Hands up if you don't mind the wet patch. So we're just going to let that settle, and I'm going to read the notes for you. So this is Dior Addict Eau Fraiche, and we have, if I can find them, we have grapefruit bergamot, lotus, pomegranate, freesia, woodsy notes and musk. So this is a slightly pared down version of the Dior Addict 2 that we looked at earlier. So we've got pretty much the same notes, but Dior Addict 2 had quite a lot more extra on top. So this is, it looks like from the note listing, it's a more simplistic version. This one came out in 2012, and the perfume is Francois Desmarchais. Now the Dior Addict 2 was, oh, they didn't list the perfumer for that one. So here we are then, Eau Fraiche in the corner of the elbow. Yeah, that's different. That's got a spice to it instantly, which the Dior Addict, the other one, Dior Addict 2, didn't have. This has well, smells to me a little bit like gingery type spice, and there's no ginger listed here, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. Let's just have a little check up on your comments. Karine says, I remember the first version was better, then the following versions were a bit scratchy and sour. I think that's the J'adore. Jimbo says, Dime Blonde by Serge Lutens. Love it. Okay, I don't think I've tried that one. Tony, I watched Tara's haul in amazement and jealousy today. I think, did she post that? Yeah, she posted that a few days ago, didn't she? Yes, I watched that one. Yeah, that was good. Lara, I have to check Tara's haul. Did you get a lot of good stuff? Yes, she said she got lots from her wish list. Jimbo says, Tara's video incited pure lust in my heart. That's so funny. And Elaine says, I've never smelt this, but I think I would like it, going by the notes. This is a lot more interesting than some of the others that I've smelt today. It smells like a slightly edible, spicy fragrance. I said earlier about Obsession, and this one's reminding me of Obsession, but lighter and easier going. It smells edible. It's not like full-on gourmand, but it does smell like a slightly edible, sweet, spicy thing, which is, it doesn't make any sense because the notes don't really go that way. Scott says, I hate the wet patch, but at my age it's a nightly occurrence. And Karine says, I believe the original Dior Addict was created by Thierry Wassa. Oh, that's interesting. Loving Thierry Wassa's work. Elaine, I still like Obsession, although I haven't worn it for years. Tony says, talking about Tara's haul. Right, let's see if I can do any better with this. It's totally making me think of Obsession. I don't even know if I'm thinking of the men's or the women's one though. It's really spicy. It's warm, hot spices, but sweet. Let me go back to the notes. What one is this? This is supposed to be Eau Fraiche, but it's spicy, but there's no spices listed. So, who knows what's going on here? It's got woodsy notes. It's got pomegranate, freesia, lotus, grapefruit, and bergamot. So yeah, am I picking out any of that? No. It has got some freshness, some slightly fruity elements to it. And a clean floral underneath. It's quite an interesting scent. I quite like it. It's definitely got more character than some of the other things. Well, it's got more character than Pure Poison. Although thing is, I don't know where we put everything now. That, I think, is Pure Poison. Yeah, Pure Poison is still very clean, slightly fruity, white floral. But it does have this old-fashioned feel about it. It's warming up, but it's still a cold fragrance. It still ain't putting out. Then the J'adore, much more fruity, warm, inviting, pretty. But it does make me think of a greengrocer's, like I'm smelling different fresh fruits. Quite natural, but then this clean, soft, musky thing. The first Dior Addict I tried, which was the Dior Addict 2. That's changed a little bit now. That's got a little bit more interesting. I think, did this one, this is the one I think had quite a strong sandalwood, did it? Because I'm smelling sandalwood. But things are smoothed out a little bit more. It's like a slightly fruity, like a couple of different fruits. Sandalwood. And even a touch of modern, which I don't know if it would be, but almost like a touch of modern day synthetic, like something like a bit like an ambroxan, like a musky, salty, woody accord. This could be a modern day perfume actually, Dior Addict 2. And then what else did we go for? And then that must be Dune. Dune is the trickiest of all of them. I don't think there's many people that are going to enjoy that fragrance. It still has a slightly dirty tone to it, a little bit like a civet. And spices. An old-fashioned kind of floral. Yeah, that's my least favourite, the Dune. Let's have a little, quickly check your comments. Indie Sense is here. Hi Indie Sense, I still wear Obsession. Christy, glad I got to hear about a few of these, but as you all know, it's time to make dinner. Bye for now. Always dinner time for you, Christy. Jimbo says brother has 2 bottles of Obsession from the 90s. I wonder if they're still good. I bet they are. Elaine, I didn't know that. I'm close to Cambridge. Off. Okay, talking about going to Penhaligon's, I think there. Kev wants Halfetti from Penhaligon's. Annie wants Halfetti too. I think we're all talking about Penhaligon's here. Right, okay. So that is all of the vintages from that box. And I've just got one more thing to sniff with you. And that is Miss Dior Chérie. Now, I understand there's a couple of formulations of this. So I think the most sought after one is the one that doesn't have a label, but it's actually on the bottle in gold is written Miss Dior Chérie across the whole front. I think that's the original 2005 version. And this might be the 2012 version, but do correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to go on my wrist on top of where today I was wearing the Miss Dior Eau de Toilette current formulation. So I'm just going to go on top there. I've kind of had this recent obsession with the Miss Dior range. I don't really know why, because it's kind of a generic scent which I wouldn't normally be that interested in. But it's not something I've ever really explored. And I guess I'm curious about all the different formulas. There's so many different formulations. It's very confusing. The Miss Dior range is extremely confusing. So many different formulations, complete reformulations, like completely change the formula and still calling it the same fragrance. So you have to do a lot of research if you're interested in them, because the older ones have the older but more recent ones, so like the 2005, 2012, I think have this sort of strawberry and popcorn note. But then that got reformed out of them, and if you go back in time, then you go for, it's a completely different fragrance altogether. If you go for the vintage, then that's like a super old-fashioned floral sharp fragrance. It's a minefield, and I don't know why, but I felt like stepping into the minefield. So Karine says, I agree, the different versions smell nothing alike. Okay. Yeah, so this one I think still has the popcorn and strawberry note. I picked it up on eBay. It's a 30ml. I got it second hand. The lid's all loose. Even the bow on the lid is loose. So the bottle's seen better days. I love the bottom dog tooth design on the bottom there. Oh, hi Rich Mitch. Yeah, I'm rattling. Okay, so this one, I haven't looked up the notes because I don't actually know which one I've got. I think it is 2012 Miss Dior. It's it does remind me a little bit of Coco Mademoiselle. A lot of people do compare Miss Dior to Coco Mademoiselle because it's actually got quite a few notes in common. So I think it's the jasmine, the fruit. So there's a mandarin or an orange. So a mandarin or orange in the top. It's got quite a sharp citrusy top and then a sharp white floral again. It's quite sharp and screechy like Coco Mademoiselle is. But I find Miss Dior is not as loud as Coco Mademoiselle. If you take the original formulas or you take the EDT or the EDP Coco Mademoiselle, they are huge projectors that they take over a whole room if you wear them. Whereas the Miss Diors seem to be more subtle. They both have musk, they have musky dry downs, and they're clean, but they are a bit screechy or scratchy. Not everyone enjoys how sharp the floral and the citruses are. There is definitely a sort of pink fruitiness about this. If there's a popcorn note, I'm certainly not picking up on it. Let me have a look on Fragrantica. Miss Dior, I'm going to look up I think it is the 2012, so we'll look that up just to see what it says. But yeah, it is sharp. There's no getting away from it. I don't feel like it's brilliantly blended. I'm running out of battery, so I won't be going on too much longer. I don't feel like Miss Dior, this one, or the EDT that I've got, which is a current formulation, I don't feel they're particularly softly blended. They're a little sharp. The notes kind of jar a little bit against each other. And I'm sure that's probably supposed to be that way, but it can be a little off-putting to some people. So this one is Italian mandarin, Egyptian jasmine and rose, patchouli and musk. So very simple note listing. And yeah, so this one doesn't have the listed, oh man, that's just, doesn't say Chérie. Hang on, this is the EDP, not the Chérie. So Miss Dior Chérie, we'll try again, because it does feel like there is some, right, so there was a 2007 version. Let's try this one. So this is the thing with Miss Dior's, it is utterly confusing. There are so many variations, and if you go to a site like Fragrantica, you never know if the person that's listed their review 100% knows that they've listed their review in the correct place, because they can vary quite a lot. My computer's a bit slow. Right, all right, now the one I'm looking at now is the one with the one I told you about, where the writing, I'm going to try and show you where the writing is across the, you see how the writing is across rather than on a label. So the one I've got has the label, so that's not the one. See, this is an absolute nightmare. Miss Dior Chérie. Let's see then. Miss Dior Chérie. Da, da, da. 2007. Well, let's try that, but I thought it was, No, that's not it either. I can't find the right one on Fragrantica right now. So forgive me. I can't be bothered to look it up now. Jimbo says strawberry and popcorn sounds intriguing. It sounds really nice, but it's not like that literal, I don't think. And it's a little bit sharp and a little bit, if that makes sense. I don't know that I don't think you'll particularly enjoy it, Jimbo. Yeah, it may be intrigued, but would you enjoy it? Knowing how we've got quite similar tastes, I think you might find it a bit jarring. Karine says, I love Miss Dior Parfum. It's discontinued. It doesn't smell like actual Miss Dior at all. I looked up a review of that yesterday, and I heard it was very heavy in the patchouli, so I thought I probably don't need to try that one. How heavy is the patchouli in it, Karine? Lara says, my favourite is the original, but you have to buy it what you can find. I really want to retry. I tried in the shop once the Absolutely Blooming, and I thought that was, out of what was available, that was probably my favourite from all the current options. I need to retry that one. John says, I don't know which I've smelt, but Miss Dior is very lovely. It's like, even though it's a little bit sharp and a little bit screechy, I've been wearing this and the EDT a lot, even if it's not been my main scent. I've been doing like one wrist, and I'm quite enjoying it regardless, even though it's a bit on the generic side. It's almost like when you spray it, you feel like you're walking through a department store, because it is that kind of generic ladies perfume scent, but it's still really nice. And I think if I try and let my snobbery take a back seat, I can actually really enjoy this fragrance. If I hadn't got into perfume in the way that I have, I think I would happily own a Miss Dior and wear it often. And know that when I wear it, I smell good. So Corinne says, yeah, this one's supposed to have a strawberry note. And I believe the popcorn note was in the first version. That makes sense, because I don't pick up popcorn, but I feel like I could be getting quite a sharp strawberry in here. Not natural strawberry, but obviously there is no such thing as a natural strawberry in perfume. But a clever perfumer could create something that smells more natural. But no, this is very much kind of sharp synthetic thing. Annie says, I have to get to work. Have to get on a work call. That was fun, Claire. Loved your descriptions. Thank you, Annie. Appreciate you coming along. And Joss needs to run, but this was fun. Great sniffing, Claire. Bye, everyone. Bye, Joss. Thanks for coming along. Elaine says, so confusing when Dior changed formulation instead of name. Yeah. And Karine says, yes, it's strong on the patchouli and the amber, the Miss Dior Parfum. Okay, yeah, I don't think I would like that. Just from knowing what I'm like, probably wouldn't enjoy that. Yeah, I am really enjoying this. I might try and track down some more Miss Dior options, just out of curiosity, if I can get them at good prices. I kind of like the bottles, although this one's a bit but I kind of like the bottles. I wouldn't mind having a little display of Miss Dior's. Scott says, great live again, Claire. Night, everyone. Night, Scott. Thanks for coming along. And I'm going to call it a night myself, because I feel tired and it's time to chill. So thank you so much, everyone, for coming along. It's been fun. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you all very, very soon. Mwah. Do you want some sweetie? She's just down here. I'll see if I can pick her up. Do you want to come up here, darling? Come up here. Come on. You coming up? Come on. Do you want to come up here? Come on. I'll see if I can get her for you, but I don't want to force her. Come here. Come here. Come here. Yeah? Come on. Oh, here we go. Hello, darling. Right. She is purring. Or she was. Her nails are now in my legs. Ah! sweetie. Ow, ow. Okay. Look, you don't need to dig your nails in, do you? Look, look, there we are. Love hurts sometimes, says Jimbo. Yeah, that did hurt a little bit. Shall we purr down the microphone? Come on then. Right, you might not see her. You need to purr now, babe. You're on camera. Come on. No, no, she's not going to, so bye everyone. Off you go then, sweetie. Bye. Oh, fluff everywhere. Literally flying everywhere. Bye everyone.